Hey everyone, this is a recap video over week one. It's been great seeing your replies to the chats. It's been good going through your Wesleyan or your Methodist distinctive papers. I've gone through all of those now, and well done at getting the work in. Well done at getting the conversation going. And what I thought I would do is do a little bit of a recap of the week, and then also give a couple of answers through a video to some of the things raised in the chats, because it might be easier for me to do this than to have to respond to all of the chats. I have responded to all of you through the chat marking the grading function, but I'd like to respond to a couple of issues I've seen just through the video. But first of all, one of the questions I've received is, how many people should you respond to in the chat forums? That's a really good question. I'm not very strict on this, but it would be good if you responded at least to 3 different people. It's good to have a wide conversation and to get views from other people. So if you could respond at least to 3 different people, don't make that a hard and fast rule. Respond to more if you want to, but try to respond to at least 3 different people. We've had good conversation going, lots of things have been raised, lots of going back and forth has been taking place on the question of, did Wesley intend to start a church? So I'm really happy to see that. You're not the first to create a good conversation when it comes to that question. I would also like to say that it looks like you've all gained a good understanding of the fact that this is a complex time period. It's a complex century. There's so many variables at place. And one thing that we haven't really had a lot of time to look at is the centuries prior to the 18th century. Were very important, very crucial actually, in understanding the 18th century. And I can help us think about that as we go along in the class. You'll have some time to do that over the next 2 weeks as you're looking at influences of Wesley who have roots in the 17th century, the century before his. 2 things I wanted to talk about really quickly from the forums. One is, obviously, you have understood that there is tension between Methodism and the Church of England. Now the question was, did Wesley intend to set up a church? Well, I think all of you understood, no, that was never his intention to do this. And actually his whole career, his whole life, he tried his best to keep that from happening. All of the decisions that he made, the organization that he developed for Methodism was with the intent that you could be a Methodist, but also be a part of your own church. Now in his context, the majority of people were members of the Church of England, and he was a priest in the Church of England, so the majority of Methodists were Church of England members. And so that's the basis from which he began to develop the structures of Methodism. However, he allowed people who were not Church of England to join the Methodist societies. He didn't want to limit people from doing this. But once you do this, you allow people who disagree with the Church of England, its theology and its structures, to join the Methodist Society. Now, if your intent for Methodism is to supplement or be in addition to your normal Sunday, for example, church-going and membership, then if you're all of the same denomination, that works. So if we're all members of the Church of England, we go to church on a Sunday, and then we do our small group Methodism during the week. And the ideal Methodism is to have your local priest be your Methodist leader as well as your Church of England priest. But what happens is Wesley invites Baptists and Independents and Congregationalists and Presbyterians, people from other traditions, to join Methodism. And once they do that, they begin to influence how people view the Church of England. And so this is one of the challenges that he faced, was trying to hold his membership together as well as hold Methodism together. This all came to a head. The other point I wanted to raise, that you have raised, is the ordinations in 1784. That was just one of 3 things that Wesley did in that year, in 1784, that many people see as him breaking from the church. Now the ordinations was the most significant one. He was not a bishop, and within the Church of England structures, only bishops can ordain. And you've all highlighted that, which is really important to do. However, this is a far more complex issue than Wesley wasn't a bishop, he ordained people for America. And a few of you have noted this. the issue of authority. So Church of England has a rubric that says no church can be subject to the authority of a church of another nation. So a few of you highlighted that this took place after the American Revolution. And that's really important, because once the American Revolution takes place, now the colonies are their own country. So they can no longer be subject to authority from the Church of England. In other words, whoever did stay, because there were priests who did stay in America after the Revolution, no longer had a bishop to be connected to, because they were in a new country. So actually what Wesley did was following his own church tradition. In certain circumstances, there are emergency tactics that can be used, and in this case, a non-bishop can ordain people. And so when he was arguing for his reasoning behind making this decision, he was using Anglican theology, Anglican ecclesiology, Anglican tradition from his own church, which is actually something that isn't often highlighted in readings like what you've had. Now, the reason I know about a lot of this was the key issue of my own work. And if any of you are really interested, I'd be happy to pass on my work on this to you. But well done for week 1. I think you're in a good place to begin to deepen your knowledge and understanding of Wesley.